Can love remain as strong as it was before despite the erosion of time and the tricks of fate? If 30 years have passed between two people who once loved each other, can they still find the initial excitement and deep affection? In the city, there is such a love story that spans 30 years. It is full of twists and turns, misunderstandings and surprises. Today, let us walk into the love world of women and men and experience a love legend that spans 30 years. The protagonists of the story were childhood sweethearts who grew up in the same village. The man was just a poor boy at the time, but he chose to join the army with the dream of defending his country. Just 1 month after getting married, he went to the battlefield and separated from the woman. This time, he was away for a long 30 years. The woman who lived alone after marriage encountered countless hardships. During childbirth, she experienced heavy bleeding and almost lost her life. In order to raise her child, she worked 3 jobs a day, and the burden of life made her breathless. The money for the child's milk powder and eggs, every expense made her frown. Even so, she always had love and expectations for the man in her heart, and firmly believed that he would come back. In those lonely days, she often looked into the distance, recalling the bits and pieces of the two of them, and relying on these memories to support herself through one difficulty after another. 30 years later, the man returned to his hometown. At this time, he was already the CEO of the group, and his status was no longer the same as before. He missed the woman more and more, and wanted to find her to make up for the debts he owed her over the years. However, the woman, after years of hardship, became a cleaner in the group, and her life was still dull and hard. By chance, the man met the woman in the hospital. At that time, the woman was criticized by others for not knowing how to use the registration equipment in the hospital. Seeing this, the man took the initiative to help. After that, the woman asked the man to help her cut a knife to get free eggs. The man not only helped, also used his connections to ask all the employees of the group to help, and finally helped her get the eggs. This seemingly ordinary interaction created a subtle connection between the two. At that moment, the woman felt that the man in front of her was very kind, but she could not imagine that he was the husband she thought about day and night, and the man did not recognize that the cleaner in front of him was his wife. The gears of fate began to turn inadvertently. In the group, the woman was harassed by the logistics manager. The logistics manager touched her, spoke frivolously, and threatened to fire her if she did not obey. The woman fought back desperately, but was isolated and helpless. At this time, the man appeared. He saw the woman being bullied and immediately helped her. He angrily accused the logistics manager and had him dragged away. In order to protect the woman, the man decided to let her be his personal assistant, hoping to give her a safe working environment. With the help of the man, the woman was full of gratitude to him, but she did not realize that the fate between the two had been destined. Becoming the man's personal assistant, the woman began to help him find his first love. The man told her the story of his first love, and those beautiful memories made the woman's heart ripple. She never thought that the first love the man mentioned was herself. As they got along better, the tacit understanding between the two gradually increased, and some familiar feelings also quietly emerged. The man will unconsciously develop a special concern for the woman, and the woman will also show her true side in front of the man. They didn't realize that this special emotion was actually love that was sealed by the years. In the process of looking for his first love, the man learned that the woman had a good neighbor. Laoli often helped the woman fix things and took good care of her. The man couldn't help but feel a little jealous, but he didn't know that Laoli had been silently protecting the woman because he knew that the woman had always loved him in her heart, and he just wanted to give the woman some warmth and help when the man was away. By chance, the man and the woman attended an event together. At the event, they met Mr. Song and his wife. Mr. Song spoke rudely to the woman. His words were full of insults and ridicule, and he also slandered her as a mistress. The woman was speechless and fell into an extreme dilemma. The man stood up to defend her without hesitation, but was laughed at by the Song couple. At this time, the man revealed his identity. He was the president of the group. The Song couple's face suddenly changed. They could not imagine that the man who defended the woman in front of them was actually the richest man. The man angrily announced that the man's group would never cooperate with Mr. Song's group again, and had the Song couple driven out. This incident further developed the relationship between the man and the woman. The man began to pay more attention to the woman's life. He found that although the woman's life was hard, she still maintained her optimistic and kind nature. The woman was also surprised by the man's identity, and she began to re-examine this man. During a conversation, the man mentioned his experience of fighting in the street. A sense of familiarity surged in the woman's heart. She began to suspect that the man was her husband, but she was not sure. At the same time, the man also developed a special feeling for the woman. He felt that the woman's eyes and behavior were very familiar to him, as if she was the one he had been looking for. But he was not sure. After all, 30 years had passed and everything had changed so much. As the plot develops, the man decides to hold a homecoming banquet. At the banquet, he plans to auction a precious ocean heart ring and donate the proceeds to the Hope Primary School in the name of the group's wife. The woman, as his assistant, also participates in the preparations for the banquet. However, on the day of the banquet, a series of accidents occur. First, the Sung couple appeared again. When they saw the woman, they began to humiliate and slander her again. The Sung couple firmly believed that the woman was a lowly woman and tried to expose her so-called scandal. The woman was speechless and filled with grievance and anger. At this time, the man appeared. He saw the woman being bullied and his anger was ignited again. He severely criticized the Sung couple and said that he would make them pay for their actions. However, the matter did not end there. At the man's return party, something else happened that gave him a headache. His wife suddenly appeared, claiming to be the man's wife, and made a scene at the party. She deliberately made things difficult for the waiter, bossed the staff around, and demanded that the man meet her various unreasonable demands. The man was caught in a dilemma. He didn't want to make fun of the guests, but he didn't want to indulge the behavior of this scheming woman. In order to stabilize the situation, the man asked the woman to pretend to be his wife. Although the woman was in pain, she agreed to help the man. She put on a mask, endured the grievances in her heart, and attended the banquet instead of the man's wife. At the banquet, she tried to avoid speaking so as not to be discovered. But the Song couple became suspicious of her. They felt that there was something wrong with this Mrs. Yi. After some investigation, they discovered the woman's true identity and began to attack her more fiercely. The Sungs exposed the woman as a fake Mrs. Yi and asked her to kneel down and apologize. The woman refused to comply, thinking she had done nothing wrong. Seeing this, the Sungs began to attack her personally, with insults and ridicule in their words. Just when the woman was in despair, the man arrived in time. He could no longer suppress his anger when he saw the woman being bullied. He angrily accused the Sungs and said he would make them pay for their actions. In the chaos, the man finally discovered that the scheming woman who pretended to be his wife was not his wife at all. He began to doubt the identity of this scheming woman and questioned her. Under the man's questioning, the woman finally admitted that she was instructed to pretend to be Mrs. Yi in order to ruin the man's return banquet. After learning the truth, the man became more determined to find the real woman. After many twists and turns, the man finally found the woman. When he saw the woman's injured appearance, he was filled with heartache and guilt. He realized that the person he had been looking for was actually right beside him. The woman was finally sure that the man was her husband. The two hugged and cried, and 30 years of longing and grievances were all released at this moment. After clearing up the misunderstanding, the man and the woman decided to start over. They recalled the past together, and those beautiful memories seemed to be just yesterday. The man prepared a grand wedding for the woman and invited all his relatives and friends. At the wedding, they expressed their love to each other and promised to stay with each other forever. After going through countless ups and downs, the man and woman finally ushered in their happy moment. At the wedding, they recalled the ups and downs of the past 30 years, and their hearts were filled with emotion. The separation and suffering in the past turned into tears of happiness at this moment. This story tells us that true love can stand the test of time. No matter how many difficulties and setbacks you encounter, as long as you have love in your heart, you will be able to overcome all difficulties and gain your own happiness. I hope everyone can understand the true meaning of love from this story. Cherish the people around you, and don't wait until you lose them to appreciate them. Today's story ends here. Thank you for watching.